Mr. President, may I have your permission to march past the parade, sir? Kawalan, kehormatan, Russo, Yang Lain, Julham, Sanja. Ha! Kawalan, kehormatan akan berjalan lalu dalam masa cepat. Berkekenan, kekenan. Oh! Three!
And now on command, the Colours Party is forming up and taking its place at the head of the Guard of Honor contingents.
The Colours Party and Guard of Honor will then march past the reviewing dais or saluting base. Colours are significant symbols of unity, cohesion and esprit de corps, inspiring a sense of pride and unity in the servicemen. It is a coveted prize which SAF units work hard to win.
There are two classes of colours, the state colours and the regimental colours. These colours are awarded in recognition for outstanding achievements in the field of combat, training, administrative efficiency and service to the community.
Regimental colours are awarded to the formations and units, while state colours are awarded to the three services, Army, Navy and Air Force.
Colours are always consecrated by religious leaders, and every year the SAF State Colours is presented to the best combat unit, this year the 1st Commando Battalion.
Leading the march past is of course the parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Simon Lim, indeed a very proud moment for him.
Lieutenant Colonel Simon Lim was enlisted in the Armed Forces in 1986 and commissioned the year after.
He's a commando officer by vocation and attained the rank of Lieutenant Colonel in July 2001. The parade and ceremony segment is the most traditional portion of the entire National Day Parade, showcasing the precision and discipline of a military-style parade.
Each Guard of Honor contingent is made up of 120 men and women lined in 6 ranks and 20 files, all dressed in their smart ceremonial uniform.
Also in the forefront is the Parade Regimental Sergeant Major, First Warrant Officer Ramasamy, the 3 state colours and the Colours Regimental Sergeant Major, First Warrant Officer Augustine Tessenson, who leads the Colours Party formed by the 34 Regimental Colours of the SAF.
And leading the Army Guard of Honor contingent is Major Jack Lau with the men from the Commando Battalion.
Following behind is Major Lim Hee Peng, Contingent Commander for the Navy Guard of Honor contingent, formed by men and women from the Naval Diving Unit, the Institute of Naval Technology and Operations, the Institute of Marine Systems, Naval Training Command and Naval Logistics Command.
The 3rd Guard of Honor contingent is represented by Major Lo Bang Soon and formed by men and women from the Field Defence Squadrons of Changi, Paya Lebar, Sembawang and Tengah Air Bases.
The 4th Guard of Honor contingent is led by Deputy Superintendent Christopher Lim and formed by men and women from the Singapore Police Force.
With that, the military part of the parade is drawing to a close. The stadium will now prepare for the next part of the parade, the show segment.
Now the military and civil defense contingents are moving into a formation to mark 20 years of total defense. There we have it, TD20, signifying the 20th year of total defense in Singapore.
And the military contingents there performing synchronized maneuvers representing our strength in unity.
And now fix your eyes center field now as the contingents unfurl a giant banner depicting the icon for NDP 2004.
It depicts the state flag with the stars on the top right-hand corner, symbolizing a progressive society.
And the pyrotechnics there have just set the stage for a dazzling display coming right up in the show.
And all this marks the seamless transition from the pomp and the pageantry of the parade and ceremony segment to the show next.
Indeed, a visual spectacle of color and lights. And there goes the countdown to the show segment, a 60,000 strong chorus of voices counting now.
There's always a lot of fascinating and surprising elements in the show segment. And speaking of surprises, there's a special one coming up for all of you at the end of the program, so stay right where you are.
The show will come alive through a creative combination of performances, music, animation, stage design, and dazzling fireworks that will express the theme, a progressive society. There'll be 3 acts to tonight's story, beginning with Our Home, Our Strength.
Yes, speaking of progress, we now travel through time and relive special moments of our nation building and how our garden society has progressed.
We'll certainly see a lot more progression tonight. Even the huge LED screen that's showing the time tunnel has undergone some changes. In the past, it used to just reflect what was on the field. But today, its role has been enhanced to show images that add to the feel of the whole show, just like this video unfolding before us now.
And streaming into the field now are 850 participants from the People's Association.
PA has been taking part in National Day Parade celebrations every year since 1986. Their display tonight will reflect Singapore's vibrancy as a young nation.
I think their costumes really add to the vibrancy of the display, Suzanne. And did you know they took a month to make?
That's right, and you know, even more amazing is the fact that it takes about half an hour to put on one of these costumes because they're so elaborate. This beautiful sea of green now from this top view of their formation shows a giant leaf aptly representing growth and diversity.
You know, this choice is very significant. Leaves are where every part of a plant gets its life from, and similarly, Singapore can be thankful for its pioneers who, upon independence, took the task of building Singapore upon them.
That's right, bending and swaying in the wind, the participants portray Singapore's flexibility and strength.
And supporting them on stage are 40 People's Association dancers.
Now watch as the garden begins to blossom. 240 orchids streaming into the field now. They will help to complete the formation representing Singapore as a garden city.
The orchids are about 1.5 meters tall each, and they're accompanied by 40 butterflies fluttering in the wind. A graceful progression there as the garden blooms.
This really ties in with Singapore's transformation over the years into a cosmopolitan modern city, one that attracts butterflies or multinationals to come work here and set up office.
This garden city concept goes beyond representing Singapore as a clean and green city. The garden concept reflects Singapore as a garden city where flowers of all types, people of all races, grow in harmony, where our cultural diversity, like the many flowers in a garden, complement one another and bring out the beauty of each ethnic group.
Music and tempo now, the Garden City concept making way for the next formation to symbolize the tumultuous years Singapore underwent following independence.
But along with the winds of change, Singapore has grown stronger as one united people that Singapore is today.
The challenge for each participant here is knowing when to open their fans. They're taking the cue from the music track being played.
Here, giant fans painted with peacock fur designs certainly add to the colorful spectacle on the field.
And as you admire the flower shapes on the field, a surprise awaits you over at the grandstand.
Oh, Suzanne, it's a visit by dragonflies descending into the midst of the audience. What a graceful entry there.
That's right, they're dancers from the SAF Music and Dance Company. And so the interactive element in this year's parade has brought the action right into the audience, literally springing a string of surprises really for the last hour or more.
And that draws Act 1 to a beautiful close, beautiful energy from the participants who've worked so hard the past few months. Some of them started as early as February, I'm told.
But all that time and energy, Augustine, definitely well spent, I say, for the People's Association, with a very successful display indeed of our home, our strength. And now over on the LED screen, let's hear the voices of Singapore from all walks of life as we make the transition into Act 2, our people, our passion.
That I get from my students gives me more satisfaction than any medal that I have won before.
I enjoy taking pictures of the world and things around me. Every picture tells a story. I draw my inspiration from my subjects.
我一直以来呢，都想当一名画家。我大部分的时间都花在画画这方面，因此呢，也没有太多的时间可以和家人在一起。可是这么多年来，如果没有家人的支持，我也没有今天的成就。
நாட்டியம் என்னுடைய மூச்சு ஆடும்போது மக்கள் அசைவுகளை தெரிந்து ரசிக்கிற போது எனது உள்ளம் மிக மிக சந்தோஷப்படும்.
I came to Singapore when I was 24 years old. Since then, there's no other place I'd rather be at. It is here that I realized my dreams.
Playing in groups has taught me humility. No matter how good you are, there will always be someone who will sweep you off your feet with their music. Jazz is a lifelong education, and I love every minute of it.
I'm always looking for challenges. Going to Cambodia on a volunteer mission was a way to get out of my comfort zone. In the long run, when I reflect back upon my life, money and material goods aren't important. To have experienced life itself is.
Semasa saya memenangi pingat emas di Sukan Asia, apa yang saya ingat semasa lagu Majulah Singapura berkumandang ialah kerja keras saya selama beberapa tahun ini berbaloi.
On the 9th of August, when we see 60,000 people waving their flags as they come to celebrate together, as one voice singing the national anthem, the impact fully reflects our love for Singapore.
Act 2 reflecting Singapore's artistic zeal and fervour in sports and the arts. And at the sound of the whistles, what better way to kick off the segment than with a football and basketball performance served up by Henderson Secondary and the SAF Warriors.
Joined over by the side of the stage, shadow dancers from the SAF Music and Drama Company performing inside a giant lantern. The idea was inspired by the wayang kulit or shadow puppets.
And look, Suzanne, giant golf balls, tennis balls, basketballs and footballs have been unleashed around the stadium to capture the theme of sportsmanship.
And that's quite apt, Augustine, because that's what this act is all about, right? Singapore's passion for the arts and sports.
Oh, look at that. The crowd's just jumping into action. Everybody's trying to grab one of those as they go bouncing down the rows of spectators.
And here we have the performers from the Singapore Soccer Association Young Women's Division.
They total 600 and they're kickstarting the match display performance on the field in a circular formation. That aptly signifies our people coming together in unity and passion.
On stage, the National Day spirit is alive with music by the Singapore National Youth Orchestra conducted by Robert Castiles. The Singapore National Youth Orchestra, or SNYO, provides opportunities for students up to junior college as well as those in international schools and tertiary students to experiment with new musical ideas.
And on the field, the women performers are now joined by another 600 youth from the Singapore Soccer Association's Young Men's Division.
Really, I think there is no better group to anchor this vibrant and energetic act than the 1,200-strong youth wing, and their ages range from 14 to 35.
This is the 19th time the Singapore Soccer Association is participating in the National Day Parade. They've been part of the action since 1981.
The Their blue and silver outfits give a futuristic feel as the young people leap into the world and embrace globalization.
And they have proved they have done that tonight. You know, the youths were so excited about being part of the parade. They told us all their friends about it as well, and they've asked them to join in. And we're not just talking about Singaporean friends here.
That's right. This year, over 60% of them are new participants. And of that, 40% are friends of the Singapore Soca Association, 4% are friends from overseas.
That's right. And when Singaporeans come together in unity, passion and power erupts.
Their costumes add to the dramatic effects. They can be fully turned around to create color change during the performance, and the women performance costumes change from blue to bright, sparkling orange.
The fast tempo here depicts the upbeat lifestyle of the youths and the things that they have to adapt to, and it represents them being passionate about what they do, how they deal with change in a creative and dynamic way.
Using their pom-poms and with their dynamic dance steps, the performers really bring up the passion and energy of our youth.
And what you see now is the formation showing a face mask symbolizing our achievements in the arts and culture arena.
You could also perceive it as two faces looking at each other.
Well, our people, our passion, that's what Act 2 is all about.
Yes, and this mass display you're watching comes courtesy of the Singapore Soca Association, 1,200 of them from the youth wing.
And on the field now, 7 teams of youth are working closely together to build up 3 layers of human pyramids. Excellent teamwork in action there.
And performing on stage now are 20 members from the Singapore Chinese Orchestra, conducted by Kwek Ling Kiong, formed in 1968. It's Singapore's only national Chinese orchestra.
And here we have MediaCorp personalities, Cynthia Koh and Vincent Ng, who set out to thrill you with some acrobatics in mid-air.
The giant balloon they're suspended from is about 8 meters across in diameter. They're attached to flying harnesses from about 20 meters or about 6 stories high. It's Cynthia's first time participating at a National Day parade, but it's a second time for Vincent.
You know, Suzanne, they've trained very hard to get this mid-air stunt together. Besides height, they've also had to contend with the wind factor up there.
In the field now, the performers have shaped up a victory formation.
What an outstanding and vibrant display of energy here we have before us, determination and teamwork from our performers from the Singapore Soca Association.
We're moving into Act 3 of the show now, Our Future, Our Hope. Let's listen to the dreams, wishes and aspirations of our youth.
What do you want?
I want to be a big boy.
I want to be strong.
So that I can protect my country.
I want to give all animals tender, loving care. Keep the playground safe for everyone to play.
I want to bring back a real dinosaur so that I can teach him how to play fetch.
I want to bring sunshine to people's hearts.
I want to publish the most beautiful photo album of Singapore.
Give everyone in Singapore an apple so that Singapore can be very healthy. Bake the world's largest chocolate cake. I want to be a princess so that everyone will be nice to me.
I want to put Singapore's flag on the moon.
I am not a greedy girl. I am trying out the taste of all the ice cream so that I can make the world's nicest ice cream. The whole world will stop fighting and listen to me play. We want to win the World Cup for Singapore! Tumbles among the clouds in the sky.
I want to invent a turbojet shoe to make me jump higher so that I can slam dunk.
Make Singapore the most colorful city in the world. I want Singapore to be peaceful. I just want Singapore to be happy.
And surrounding the field now are flaggers from the NUS Centre for Arts, which was formed to promote dance as a modern art form. Rising in the air, scissor lifts 4 meters high, equipped with Saxon wheel fireworks, in another attempt to bring the show closer to the spectators.
And here we have the vibrant display of percussions from all over the world, symbolizing the global playground in which our youth are exposed to today.
Complementing the performance once again, shadow dancers from the SAF Music and Dance Company.
And in the field, you will see a huge star formation shining, and 200 percussionists from Telokra Secondary School and East Spring Secondary School, both first-timers for the parade, led by Damien Lim from the Percussion Arts Society.
And here are 28 members of Deyi's dance troupe that has won the Gold Award in the Singapore Youth Festival for the past 14 years. They specialize in both Chinese dance and contemporary moves, and they're holding up torches which represent fire and color, fire representing our youth's burning ambition to succeed.
Here we have 720 students from Deyi Secondary School. This is the third time Deyi is taking part in the National Day Parade.
The students are carrying with them percussion instruments, symbolizing the unity of Singapore youth and the rest of the world.
The drums represent the pulsating beat to which our future generations must move to. It mirrors society's ever-changing nature to keep up with technology and the times.
The formations look so good because they were created for a TV audience. torch bearers have been taught safety moves like keeping the torches above their head.
You know, Suzanne, so much time and effort has gone into this routine. I take my hat off to the performers tonight. They've shown their dedication for months now, and I think it's such a proud moment for their families to see them shine here at the National Day Parade 2004.
A total of 720 30 students make up this mass display performance.
Act 3 showcases our youth and children of today and the global nature of our future, much like our young nation, evolving and growing stronger.
And the torches they carry represent fire and color, fire representing our youth's burning ambition to succeed. The spread of musical instruments symbolize the need for the youth of the world to move in a single beat to achieve global harmony and peace.
There represented by this dove made up of students from Dehi Secondary School, where everyone plays a part to maintain harmony.
Crowds have really warmed up and they're having a great time.
That's right, Suzanne. Hold on to your seats, there's more action coming up.
On stage now, keeping us on our toes, here are the students of Haig Girls School with a tap dancing performance.
Haig Girls School was first established in 1951. This will be the third time the Haig Girls are taking part in the National Day celebrations.
This year's parade is arranged and composed by renowned musical maestro Iskandar Ismail. Iskandar was first involved in National Day celebrations in 1988, and he has an illustrious track record in the music scene, both locally and internationally.
And in the background, you can hear our MCs and motivators getting the 60,000 strong all riled up in one voice. They're singing out "Ole Ole," using their shakers to get into the rhythm of the tune.
You know, Augustine, the music is so powerful, it really helps, I think, to invoke the essence of each performance.
That's right, Suzanne. There's a whole explosion of activity here in the audience, and even our ministers are all going full speed with their shakers there. Explosion of activity here in the audience as they dance to the music and party away with their can shakers and other goodies from the fun pack.
And talk about music, let's get funky now with our local rap group singing a rap version of Stand Up from Singapore.
Local rap group Revelation here in action.
Joining them on stage, we have Tabla Maniam and Majnor. All around the stadium now we have NUS flaggers and huge helium balloons rising up around the track, building up to the climax.
And center field, 16 red and white banners detached from the giant globe, spreading the joy and reaching out to everyone watching.
What can we say but a glitzy end to Act 3?
Certainly it is.
Well, more sparkles await you as we move into the grand finale, so keep an eye out for that. It's been a pretty good year for Singapore, another great parade. We're moving into the grand finale featuring Our Nation, Our Commitment.
That's right, it highlights the commitment of all Singaporeans to overcome challenges and build a brighter future for us.
Let's now welcome the Young Voices of Singapore from Tampines Primary and Tanjung Katong Girls.
They're 182 strong with a new arrangement for our national song, Hope.
And accompanying the Young Voices are Danielle Goh, Shanice Navin and Ang Yifeng.
The whole rendition of Hope, here's Kim Chan, who first launched the song at the National Day Parade in 1998.
We'll find a way to start anew. There is comfort in the knowledge that home's about us people too. So we'll build our dreams together, just like we've done before. Just like the river.
Now also adding his voice to this finale.
This is home.
fails to tug at the heartstrings, Augustine. It really stirs up that patriotic feeling. It certainly does in me.
Yes, Susan, it certainly does for me. All the participants have gathered together on the field for the grand finale. 4,200 of them, and unfurled a giant state flag. What a beautiful, powerful sight this is.
And now let's soak in the sights and sounds and be dazzled by the spectacular fireworks display before us. Always, always a crowd pleaser. Certainly one of my favorites.
Oh, Suzanne, this is absolutely beautiful. You're looking at some 60 different fireworks from around the world. Feel the warmth of the house as the dazzled by the fireworks display. You can be immersed in the fireworks here, synchronized with the music, and hold your breath for 2.5 minutes as they come to you in various shapes and colors. Oh, we're going to be just sitting back here for a while and let you all take it in.
Here on the field, we see the shape of a house formed by the participants on the field to represent our home. There's nowhere better than a place we call home.
The whole stadium is broken out in the national medley featuring all the national songs from past parades. Everybody is singing in, Suzanne.
That's right, everyone singing in unison, in one voice, as one people. Singapore, happy 39th birthday. All of you at home, come along and sing now.
one people, one nation, Singapore. Happy birthday, Singapore. Happy 39th birthday.
In a moment, 39 pledge takers of all ages from all walks of life will lead the nation in taking the pledge. A three-generation family is among them tonight, and the oldest is 84-year-old Mr. Lim Susu.
We just don't have any more words to describe the scene here at the National Stadium. Truly spectacular. It's really a true celebration of Singapore's 39th National Day Parade.
Happy birthday, Singapore.
Happy birthday, Singapore. With the singing of the national anthem there, Majulah Singapura, meaning may Singapore progress and flourish. And now the stadium prepares to say goodnight to President Nathan, who will take his leave from the parade.
Good night, Mr. President. And with Mr. Nathan taking his leave now, it marks the end of the parade.
And now let's shift our focus to the giant LED screen once more. There's a special surprise for Prime Minister Goh as we pay tribute to him for his 14 years of service to our nation.
Stepping down in 3 days' time. And we have prepared a special tribute for him. Please direct your attention to the giant LED screen in the stadium.
My mission is clear: to build a nation of character and grace where people live lives of dignity and fulfillment and care for one another. I therefore call on my fellow citizens to join me to run the next leg together. A crisis makes or breaks a nation. We overcame a tough challenge together. The SARS crisis bonded us. It made our country stronger. My destination for Singapore is a country full of activity, where new ideas are born every day and long-held dreams are fulfilled. It will be a safe and warm home to raise our children. It will be a place where Singaporeans can always find comfort and encouragement. It will be diverse, with Singaporeans and foreign friends of different races, religions, cultures, creeds, living, working, playing together. It will be a fascinating city, competitive, yet compassionate, busy, and yet with time to enjoy friendships and recreation. It will be a nation overflowing with laughter, confidence, life. You have walked many hills and valleys with me, my fellow Singaporeans. My heart is always with you.
We've just watched a tribute to Prime Minister Goh, who will step down on August 12 after 14 years as Prime Minister. And we have a nation standing on its feet now as a mark of respect and gratitude for the man who's led the nation these past 14 years.
That's right, Suzanne. There's a standing ovation here at the National Stadium. During his term in office, Mr. Goh has steered Singapore through some very tough times, global economic changes and SARS. Just last year, in his quiet and consultative manner, Mr. Goh has tapped on the nation's reservoir of courage and strength and rallied Singaporeans together.
As PM Goh's leadership style will certainly be remembered as one focused on building trust among the people, one dedicated to building a more caring and compassionate society.
The National Stadium here still giving the Prime Minister a rousing standing ovation, rousing round of applause here. a special moment on this 39th National Day Parade.
And the party continues here at the National Stadium. I have enjoyed every moment of this parade, Augustine. Thank you all for your company. I'm Suzanne Ho, going off now to join the crowd outside.
Hold on, Suzanne. Yes, it's been a pleasure bringing National Day Parade 2004 live to you from the National Stadium. For now, both Suzanne and I are running down to the field. I'm Augustine Nathuan saying goodbye. Happy birthday, Singapore.
Happy birthday, Singapore. Good night.
We love you.
I will always rejoice. As my senses tell me, this is where I won't be alone. For this is where I know it's home. I look around, I know I must be. Where memories wait for me, where the river always flows. This is home, as my senses tell me. This is where I won't be alone. I know it's home. For this is where I know I am
MediaCorp, the Olympic Network.